Hey everyone, Garbage here. So recently I've been playing a lot of a little game called Balatro that has been pretty popular recently, and I was kind of addicted to it for a while, and as a result I was inspired to make some pixel art with a card game theme in mind. And if it sounds like I'm tooting my own horn a bit, that's because I am, but I think that the colors in this piece are absolutely phenomenal. I did a really good job. And the way that I was able to choose these colors, because I wasn't working with a pre-made color palette or anything like that, I used a method that is honestly very simple and super easy to do. So if we were to look at this piece in black and white, we can see that there is a wide range of values. We've got some nice dark shadows underneath the cards. We have some very pleasant midtones for the background. And we also have a lot of nice highlights in the cards and the dice and a lot of little extra details that really pop out from the background. And if we look at the piece in full color, it just looks really nice because there's a lot of contrast between the darkest darks and the lightest lights. And there's a lot of vibrancy to the colors, which I think is very aesthetically pleasing. So now that we've established how incredible my artwork is, let's ruin it by making some changes, specifically by reducing some of the contrast. If you look at this in black and white, you can see now that the difference between the darkest darks and the lightest lights is less intense. Now, if we go back to full color, this might look okay to some people, but now we're running into the issue where the colors are less distinct from each other than they are in the original piece. You can see how much more presence each individual color has. This, in my opinion, is infinitely better than this. Okay, so here's another piece that I worked on recently, and hopefully you can see that it's a little guy in a hoodie standing outside while it's snowing. And again, if we look at it in black and white, we can see that we have a very wide range of values. I did make another version of this. I will switch to it right now, where the contrast between the hoodie bro and the background is much more apparent, right? The only downside being that the vibrancy of the colors in the background are somewhat muted compared to the original version where we have these really deep purples. So that's another important consideration. If you want to draw attention to a certain part of an image, it often helps to make it either a very dark object on a light background or a very light object on a very dark background. Again, it's all about contrast. And so finally, let's finish off this video by looking at it from the opposite direction. So here I've got a piece that I drew and I intentionally made the colors very low contrast. Right? You can kind of tell what's going on here, but the colors are very washed out. They all kind of blend into each other and it's very difficult to see what's going on here. I did this on purpose. If we look at it in black and white, we can see that pretty much everything is just this light gray color. And so if you've got an art piece that looks like this, the simplest fix is to just increase the contrast. And so I'll do that right now, up to about 200. And with just that one simple change, things already look 1,000 times better. And if we look at this in black and white, now we can see that there's a much greater variety of values in the image, which makes everything a lot easier to see. It could use a little more contrast still, but this is a good place to start. But yeah, that's the technique. Just look at the image in black and white and make sure that you have some very dark colors, some medium colors, and some very light colors in order to get an image that has a lot of vibrancy in it. And then once you have the basic values in place, then you can spend time adjusting the colors little by little until you get an overall palette that looks interesting to you. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a nice day.